What's up guys, this is Shannon. Today we're going to check out Residensi Alamanda in Pantai Sentral Park, I think. Let's go! After having a very exciting series of launches around this area called Bangsar South, people like to call it Kampung Kerinci. Then now for the further end towards NPE Highway, it's called Pantai Sentral Park. But people also like to call it Kampung Pantai Dalam. And there's a direct connection into NPE itself. So that's one of the benefits and the main selling point for this location. On top of that, this is situated next to Bukit Gasing. So a lot of people don't know this. Bukit Gasing is the only thing separating PJ and Bangsar South. So you can literally start from Bangsar South, after you cross the hill, right, you're in PJ already. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. And now you can see this is a brand new master plan by one of the developers here. And the good thing is the roads are done, the landscape are done, infrastructures are all done, like street lights, curbs, drains, sidewalks like this are all done. So it's very good. But at the same time, you will see a lot of tanah perkuburan because that was the original setting of the site. Then you can see a lot of still kampung setting, which is again the original setting of the site. So that will be the project Residensi Alamanda that we're going to check out today. It's a Rumawip. And this one, I think is Nest 3. So we have another adjacent building here, another one further down the road only, and all this empty land, guess what they're going to be? Development lah. And today will be a collaboration with one of the audience who came to the podcast before. He shared on his experience on how he got this. Now let's see the actual thing. So from a distance, actually not very far lah. Okay, one street away there will be Sequoia and Inwood already. A stone throw away, this will be Residensi Alamanda, and this will be the entrance already. So the ingress will be coming in from this main road going in. So from a pedestrian point of view, outside walkways are awesome. But when you come into the entrance, right, there's no walkway one. You see, the entrance is so tight for two cars to just come in, and we almost got knocked over. Very dangerous. For residents, they will park inside here. This will be the entrance into the elevated car park. On the other side, then you want to make a U-turn lah. And for the pathways, they are using concrete imprints. So now we're at the ground floor car park and it's connected to the lift lobby, right? So there are two treatments to the ceiling. The main entrance pathway, then you will have very well treated plaster ceiling for the car park. For normal one, then they'll just leave exposed. Looking at the concrete work, there'll be patches, but it looks okay. Flooring, cement screeded, then you will have epoxy paint for pedestrian walkways. Structurally, they are adopting transfer beams, so we will look at the facilities deck later to have a better picture. Then coming into the lift lobby, there will be a ramp, and this will be the letterbox area, but no lights yet, they just VP. And this will be a lift lobby directly onto the road. So my comments is when my kid come out, right, if tak berhati-hati, she already die. Coming into the lobby, we are now in level 6, which is the facility deck. And this is like the third consecutive Rumawip that we have visited in 2 weeks time. All got swimming pool on. Very nice. Everyone thought that, hey, by not building the facility deck, by cutting down all the costs, right, it's more viable to build. But this series of developers has proven everybody wrong. And the main reason for such existence of a Rumawip, because it's a compliance product from a development point of view. Okay, before a developer wants to build a piece of land, aka like next door, they are building that, there will be a compliance, which means that the government will insist that they build a level of affordable homes before they can build what they want to build. So this is a result of that. The argument then will be, do you prefer it to be separated like that on its own, or some you will have designs where it's integrated within the whole block itself. What do you think? Anyway, in terms of flooring, it's very nice. You got floor tiles, timber-like tiles, pebble wash for the edge, and you will have a swimming pool. So this is the wading pool for kids with an infinity edge. Well, looking over to the sewage treatment pond. Right. So then this will be the lap pool, and in between the playground on the other side, they use the landscape island as separation and partition. So here you have some outdoor chill area. Very nice there. You even have a small little jacuzzi at the end. Then you have Cambodia trees within the planter box set at the boundary. Then between the playground and the swimming pool, just now as we mentioned, there's a landscape mount, which is like a partition to also serve as a transition space because the leveling of platforms is rather obvious. So there will be levels down to the swimming pools and levels down to the playground itself. In terms of inclusivity, I don't think they thought about it, but I think it's fine because to have that, it can be pretty costly. So you have steps to transit from one level to another. This will be the children's playground. So you have rubber tiles, you will have a jungle gym platform like this. Then at the side you will have a sitting area furnished by pebble wash. Very nice. Because this is going to be for parents for supervision purposes. And what you can hear now is a lot of ongoing constructions are taking place. Renovation, not construction. Okay? So it's always good, and this is 300,000. So it's somewhat like a jungle gym setting. I prefer to have swings and seesaws, a bit more conventional, but this is a slide on a mount. Then you have garden units. Wow, this garden unit is not bad. And for privacy reasons, you are separated by this landscape buffer. I think it's a bit too close for my comfort, but I think it's fine. Then you can see the external wall, they use spray paint. They got tint for the windows for privacy, vent blocks for the aircon latch. In terms of facade language, I like it. Simple. Then beneath one block itself, you will have all the required rooms. Like the reading room, it looks pretty good. We are now in the games room, so they kind of furnish the foosball table, caroms, some game, chess and things like that. Very surface level stuff, but I appreciate finishings like this instead. So the LED light makes it fancy. And this is also the treatment for the bathroom area, but I don't understand why. You make it very obvious that some areas are highlighted, some areas are just whatever lah. One theory is these are all the structural elements. So these are the main columns, the shear walls that we see from the car park, right? It's transferred all the way up here. So to soften it somewhat, they added lights and they made it into somewhat like a decorative elements within the space. Okay lah, it doesn't hinder the circulation of the space. And connected to the games room, this will be the barbecue pit where you can also access outside. In terms of sofa, I think it's not curated enough, where it's like you just go to the furniture shop, you see whatever you like, you just unbait, grab and go. That's how the whole interior setting looks like. But in terms of treatments like pebble wash, wall furnishing, lightings and all, it's there. It's there. Okay, now we are in the gym and this is the cardio area. So they did not do the transfer plate nor transfer structure well. So you have shear walls like this within the gym. So this entire wall here is actually structural elements. And it's a bit costly to actually reshuffle and reorganize the entire structural system. So this is what the experience that you get lah. You have a very long wall. Anyway, here you will have 3 treadmills, 2 airwalks, 2 bicycles. Equipments are furnished by F1 Recreation. In terms of window wise, it's awesome. It's very, very bright. Just that the views, you will have the STP lah. But this STP is the fancy type, so it's pretty clean, it's very maintained. You will have solar panels all the way, greeneries all the way. And here, I guess this will be a retention pond yet to be dressed up until they sort out the kampong lah. And that will be Bangsar South already. Okay, so if you work there and you got this unit, right? Full lama, right? That's the best case scenario. But anyway, ceiling height wise is pretty low for the entire facility deck area. It's only about 2.37 meters here. I think this is SPC flooring with just timber patterns. This is a rubber mat for your free weight zone. Mirrors, weights machine. You will have some equipment, a rower here. Wow, not bad like they give rower. I guess that's all. And this will be the entrance experience when you come in from the other door. So, opposite that is a normal unit, right? A conventional unit of apartment. Here then, because they don't want to redesign and rededicate a space for the gym, they just live with whatever structural condition. Shear wall then shear wall lah. Column then column lah. Okay, and they just slid in and integrate the typologies of gyms equipment with it. Coming out to the standard floor, the width of the corridor is 2.64, the height is 2.86, and it's very bright because you have this huge window at the corner. Although this one a bit wasted because you have the adjacent building that is so close actually. So close, this. Wow. But this then will be another corridor to the other wing. But the size of the opening is amazing lah, okay? And that will be the adjacent building, which is the main product of the developer. This is the compliance product actually. And this is the very weird part also. So technically it's about a ratio of 4:1. 4 standard market units built by the developer, they will need to build 1 Rumawip, which is a compliant product. So the compliant product now is sold at 300,000, so that's the standard price. But for that, I think it's going to be higher, like maybe 500,000 to 600,000. Bigger one is about 800,000. And isn't it weird? For this project here, the density is about 600 over units. It means you will need to have about 3 to 4 times higher density next door at the higher price. Malaysians are so spoiled. So this will be the floor plate design, and per floor there will be 22 units with units in one size only, arranged in a double loaded corridor setting. Then you have separation of voids between the corridor and the unit for better ventilation to the internal toilets and rooms, and you are serviced by 2 lift cores, 3 lifts per core, and it consists of 2 passenger lift, 1 fire lift. So the benefit of such typology is when one side lift rosak, you can always go to the other lift. However, in terms of separation, there will be a partition in the center where most likely it will only be released during the trigger of fire alarms. Lift lobby finishing wise, you will have 600 by 600 mm textured tiles, very nice. Then for the walls of the lift, you will have the panel and emulsion paint wall, that's about it. So sooner or later there will be fingerprints already. And separated by a partition door, this will be the access to the corridor. Next to the lift lobby, this is another service corridor that leads us to the refuse room here. Okay, so this is the rubbish room. Wow, very nice set. Very bright, very ventilated, 1.5 meter wall tiles, and you have a ramp, so the kakak that works, right, don't need to be too difficult to load. Cantik. And it's separated by a dual partition, means that there's one door there, another door here. Okay, before you reach the lobby. In terms of corridor width, it's awesome. 1.78 meters. In terms of height, it's 1.85. You got no plaster ceiling. They will just skim coat the layer, and you can see electrical trunking going all the way. At least it's tidy, so you can see all utility components flying through, but I think it's fine. Because we are in the highest floor, so the entire experience is like added on. So now it's like so bright on an afternoon, but it's because we are on the highest floor. If we are on the lowest floor, then it can get kind of dark already. Okay, just imagine if we are at level 2 or level 8, right? It's going to be pretty dark. So in terms of floor treatment, you will have tiles with some pattern in arrangement. Very thoughtful. Then for the fringe, they just use the existing cement screedings. And it comes with a drain. But I don't understand, maybe because there's still an air gap for the safari roof on top. So there will always be possibility that rains will splash in, or when the cleaners mop the floor lah. So they will have drains. The parapet wall height is very nice. It's about 1.2 meters, 4 feet. Awesome. And in terms of lighting, it's also just using pendant floors. Nothing too fancy, functional will do. Nice there. So this should be the unit I'm going to check out today. There won't be any foyer, so this is just like that hotel setting. You won't have places for shoe cabinets or whatsoever outside, or you can straight away go in. Coming into the unit, the door width is 870, so it means this is a 900 mm by 2.1 meters door. A pretty compact one. Here immediately you will have your kitchen, okay? Then you have a window here which is peculiar. Then this will be the dining, your living, and you will have 2 bedrooms here, common bath on this side connected to the balcony here. This will be the master suite. So the wall-to-wall width here for the kitchen area is 2.83 meters, and you will have a 5 feet wall tiles. So it comes like that, empty. You need to do your own kitchen cabinet, and this connects directly into your yard space. So this is nice. The width here is 1.1 meters and the length is 2.4 meters. And because this is the highest unit, so the entire laundry experience within this level, right, I think it's going to be so nice. Okay, when we close the door, this will be the location of your washer and dryer, water inlet, water outlet, floor traps, electrical socket, and it's covered. Wow, nice eh? Then, I don't know which one is the main water supply in, but this is where you can install the external water filter if you want to as well. But because this is an exact unit, it just got handed over to the owner and he just did the defect checks, right? You can see all this. And it spreads throughout the whole unit lah. We'll talk about that later. Anyway, from the kitchen area, this window, because of the topology of only one unit type, right? It works. Because number one, it breaks the scale of the massive shear wall. So you won't feel as claustrophobic when you come in here. Then this will be a very nice position to have a sideboard as well. But overall, my first comment will be this grid line is rather narrow lah. But too bad like you need to squeeze in as much as you can. But in terms of kitchen, it can be a very elaborated one because you have a very nice nook there, right? It can be like a breakfast counter here. You can do a dual linear or a U-shaped kind of layout for your kitchen. Then for the width of dining area, this is 2.55 meters, and the ceiling height is just like outside 2.87, around 2.9 meters lah. And this should be the narrowest portion of the house. You can put in a very nice dining set here. You have 600 by 600 mm tiles. And the main reason for the squeeze here in the center is because they allocated the toilet like that. So this will be the common bathroom shared between the visitors and the 2 bedrooms. So here you have inspired basin and WC, full height wall tiles, no shower screen, shower head missing. Then you will have a very nice window for ventilation and daylighting, frosted for privacy. A very comfortable drop. This is like 10 mm only, very comfortable. I like the drop stack, is about 25 mm, but just that the door is a bit narrow. So this used to be the standard toilet door width. Then walking through, this will be the living area. The wall-to-wall width is about 4 meters, which is very nice, but I don't think you can use it all lah. That will be the TV wall, where on the other side, that will be the entrance into 2 bedrooms. I don't know how you're going to put your settee, maybe in the center. So in terms of circulation wise, you need to zigzag a little bit lah. It means because of that doors, you cannot push in your settee all the way, so you can only like stop around this line. So this will then be the circulation pathway of the house. When you come in the house, this is how you go back home lah. Therefore, I think that This 4 meters width, it's nice, but experience-wise, because of the layout like this, a bit sayang. And after visiting a few Rumawips and affordable home projects, right, we no longer should use the excuse of just because it's 300,000, then what you expect, 300,000 only ma, right? As we have witnessed great designs within 300,000 projects, because design don't cost a lot. How they usually save money is on the material applications and things like that lah. So we can see on the tiles, the window specs, the size of the windows, the door, is it waffle or solid timber door? No more solid timber door lah. Then in terms of socket quantities, in terms of toiletry, handrails and things like that. So we have seen really fancy one. We will conclude this later. But the view for this unit is awesome. As we walk past the living space, right? So this will be facing Bukit Gasing side. So that will be Sequoia, Inwood and the brand new one already. I think it's Endless. Then this will be the graveyard. And this will be the police dome, the masjid, the PPRs and the rumah kampung. So these will be all empty lands temporarily. So you see all the car dumping site, worker quarters and brand new development on this side. However, after this hill is actually PJ already, and that will be all the commercial area for Bangsar South. In terms of width, this is 945 mm, and in terms of length, it's 4 meters long. So the unit size is actually pretty remarkable. You will have 300 by 300 mm tiles, steel handrail, and vent blocks for the aircon latch area. So I think this will be the area where you put your aircon compressors. Then in terms of glazing, tintings is heavily tinted. Wow, so this is nice. You won't feel as hot within. And the door, let's test the noise. So we can still feel some construction noise here. Wow, and you can really see the effect of the tint. Very nice. Let's check out the 2 bedroom adjacent to the living room. This is bedroom number 1, and this one is connected to the void area outside. So the size is 2.83 by 2.85 meters. Can you put in a queen size bed? I think you can. I think you squeeze a bit lah. But I don't think you can have bedside tables on both sides. You can have a wardrobe and a small dressing table. What comes with the unit will be 300 by 300 mm textured tiles with tile skirtings. That's nice. A nice enough window. So this will be the sign of this being an affordable project. In terms of socket, 1 only across the room, fan point and light point provided. In terms of window also, this is also tinted. And solid there. And here you can also see the drastic difference between primary facade connection and secondary facade connection. So this one connected to the internal void, and we are already at the rooftop, yeah. So it means this is already as close as it can get to the daylight outside, but you just see the main difference in terms of size, in terms of source of light. So the size of the room is 2.85 by 3.3 meters. Flooring and wall treatments is similar to the one before. The only difference will be the light and space quality that you get. But let's talk about the stickers. If this is for own stay, I agree, right? Stick all the way you want. This one tile chip lah, this one got stain lah, hairline cracks lah, uneven paint lah, dent lah, whatsoever, right? But when it comes to investment, then personally, I don't think this is a smart move, because just to rectify all this, right, it will take about 2 months, because you are submitting the complaint along with like 600 different owners. By the time it reaches you, right, don't know when already. And it also depends if you are going to furnish the unit. Like for me, the makeover guys is going to treat the whole wall again, right? All the stains here are going to be covered anyway. And it's also a blur point on how home defect checkers tries to prove their worth. They are doing their job excellently, but deep down, how owners or how clients, right, justify the quality of their services is by the number of stickers they stick on. The more stickers you stick, the more hard work that we think they did. But actually it's not like that, right? But I do understand, right? It's entirely up to your choice. To me, the time to fix surface level things, it directly reflects in monthly installment. If 1 month monthly installment is more expensive than the repair fee, right, I will straight away just settle the repair fee, get the makeover done and rent it out quick. And for this unit, Cool Point, it's about 2000 to 2002, but we haven't seen any transaction yet because just VP, right? But that's the guesstimation in terms of rental rates here. And you get 300,000, your monthly installment is going to be about 1,003 plus a daily maintenance, 150, 200, right? 1,005. If that's the rate, right, every month positive 500-700. Whether or not Rumawip can be rented out, let's talk later. I'm really enjoying this size of window here for this bedroom. Awesome view. Yeah, like you just ignore the tanah perkuburan, but you got a mountain view, you got awesome architectures. Office tower is just there. Really, like if you just work here, right? Whoa, nothing to complain, eh? And just shout out to the master planner. Look into the level of infrastructure. Roads are all done and completed. They look awesome. Then whenever you want to market or you want to push your brand new face or product, right, it's directly more convincing because like you can pour in all the money to get the infrastructure done before launching your product. It shows a lot in capabilities. Anyway, moving forward, going into the master suite. Ta-da! In terms of size, 3.14 by 3.3 meters. Tile, flooring treatment, wall treatment, the same. Window treatment also the same. Size also the same. Number of sockets also consistent. Switches by Siemens. Ooh, branded way. Then going in, this will be your ensuite bathroom. Full height wall tiles. Then you will have Inspire, basin and WC. This will be the window connected to the void outside, and this will be the shower area. Tile choice, very good, eh? Okay, so now we are at the rooftop, and this will be the safari roof structure right on top of every void. So it's nice, it's tinted, so you don't have rain coming in. Actually, you solve water issue within the internal space, so you solve a lot of things really. Very nice. And this, yet to be completed, but this will be the gazing deck. Stargazing deck. You have tiles areas. What's lacking is just some potted plants and furnitures. That will be Federal Highway, connected to NPE, connected to Old Klang Road right opposite. On the other side, this will be the view that you get. A lot of people actually don't know or they are not aware of it because you hold it in Old Klang Road, right? In between Old Klang Road and NPE Highway, there's actually a very nice park here. And I think it's an indoor water initiative to show that actually their water treatment plants, right? No smell, no noise, pretty pleasant to the eye. Nothing too negative about it. When you look, right, in first glance, you can't even tell which one is the park, which one is the STP. Yeah, I think that's their initiative lah. But just too bad, it's not really that open to public. Nobody actually knows about it. But when you look into connectivity, in the future, this will be the access way to go out, go under the bridge into Old Klang Road. Then that will connect you to Mid Valley side of Federal Highway, connect you to Taman Desa, Kuchai Lama, OUG, Puchong. On this side then, on the other end, you can come in straight away to MPE Highway that brings you over to Eco City. Internally, you can go Bangsar South. Technically you're in Bangsar South already, and that's the main selling point. Therefore, can you rent this out then? Within the guidelines and the agreements, many people have checked it. There's no restrictions on rental, but should you use it for rental, entirely up to you lah. Personally, I wouldn't be qualified anyway in the first place. So is this a proper first home for investors wanna be? Technically, I think if you get a standard unit within this price range, something like like Laurel or the smaller units one, like South Link and things like that, right? It's about the same price, about 150,000 more, but the rental that you get is also more healthy compared to this. That is going for about 2,008, 3,002. This you can about 2,000, right? But there, free market means market condition good, you make money. Market not so good, you just hold and collect rent lah. Here you will have moratorium, means within 5 years or 10 years time you cannot have transaction. So for that 5 to 10 years time, anything can happen. So which one you want? But this location wise is really nothing to complain lah. And I guess that's all for the episode. It's now time for Sean's Take 3 on 3. And the very first thing I like, of course, the location, right? Like the fact that I almost paid for 800,000 to $1 million for a project right opposite, right? That shows how in demand this location is, and it's for several reasons lah. Number one, connectivity wise, you are connected to Federal Highway, MPE Highway, then you're connected to Old Klang Road indirectly. Then in terms of addresses, you're connected to Bangsar South, KL Eco City. As a matter of fact, you are located in a location that people wants to come to. In terms of commercial activities, in terms of convenience, it's solid. And that is one of the main factor also for the very high performance in terms of rental rates and capital appreciation for this area. That is because of the LRT connectivity. Then you have a lot of malls, but mainly it's because of the job opportunities brought in by the corporate park. So if you look around that area, right, in terms of job opportunities, is solid. High paid people are all employed here. Guess where they want to stay? Then in terms of view, you have Bukit Gasing, you will have KL Eco City skyline. Wow, I really cannot find anything to complain in terms of location. Then the second thing I like will be the value for money. Again, this is Rumawip in conjunction with the neighbouring project Nest 3. So this is about 300,000 only when this couple got it. And in terms of returns, if they were to rent out, it's about 2,000, 2,002 estimated. Monthly installment is about 2,003. And it's the same price throughout the whole project, meaning if you get the highest floor, it's also this same price. You get the lowest floor one, also same price. Therefore, the knowledge gap then plays a big part of it, where this owner has. So this owner came to the podcast before, so he exactly know what to do already. The only debate was whether to face KL Eco City or whether to face Bukit Gasing. From an investment point of view, from a value point of view, even you own stay for yourself, right? It's superb lah. And that is also why this is only capped to those who are qualified only, meaning your income is not as high. Therefore, I think now, after visiting a few Rumawips, right, for those who can qualify, just get a Rumawip first lah. To this extent, right, you just need to pick on which location. But bear in mind, different state will have different jurisdiction, meaning the product layout might be different, product size might be different, product configuration might be different as well. But overall, I've seen 3 all pretty awesome lah. And that's the third part that I like. Like if you look into the common facilities deck, I think it's awesome. Like you have the infinity edge pool separated into lap pool and wading pool. You have a jacuzzi as well. You have a very nice playground for the kids. In terms of reading room, it's furnished. Gym wise, is furnished. Equipment wise, it's pretty solid, and you even have a rooftop deck. That one yet to be completed, but it's just a matter of furnitures. Ratio of lift to unit, 6 units for 22 units in 2 separate lift cars. I think it's very nice leh. Then in terms of specifications of the toilets, tiles, toiletries, flooring materials, aluminium and glazing, build quality wise, really nothing to pick on. Solid. For the 3 things I don't like then will be number 1, the micro setting. Next door, you have a very high density project, which is the main reason why Residensi Alamanda exists. But on the other side then, you are in the turning, and in front of you, you have the car dumping site right now. Most likely these are all going to be developable land. It's about time only. Then behind you, you have the sewage treatment plant. On plan, when you look at it, it's rather intimidating. Like what if here built ready, here built ready, here built ready, like there got smell lah, then noisy lah, whatsoever lah, next to highway lah. But when you go to the unit, you don't feel nothing leh. STP, no smell. Like the MPE noise, maybe traffic jam, right? That's why no noise lah. On this side here, it's yet to be developed. And now thinking back, maybe the owner should have gotten the view facing KL Eco City side, because there will be less probability of having the view being blocked. On this Bukit Kasing side of view, you will be surrounded by all developments lah. And that's pretty close to the second point. In terms of density wise, I think for the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to enjoy this serene, very low density setting. But it's a matter of time again, because at the same time, there's like 4 or 5 project sites that's undergoing construction right now, and easily one project now you will have 1,000, 2,000 units, right? And because of the main attraction of being in this location and address, everybody wants to be here, and this is actually part of the township and master plan of the adjacent project. So I think it's not going to be too bad. Instead of being a threat, I do think it's a complementary thing, because when you have standard market products building at double the price that you are paying, right, there will always be demand for product at the lower price range. And it's lower price range not because of the poor quality, but because it's restricted and controlled in terms of cost. So I think for residents, don't have to be too worried. But the last thing then, this one gotta highlight a lot of design issues that I don't really like. Number one, the entrance, right? By designing like that, you have a segway to just park for visitors, and that will easily be a congestion part of the connectivity side, because this internal road actually connects to the adjacent project, also another empty land. And when that is already the bottleneck, right, you will indirectly affect the residents of next door too. Then there's no proper loading bay. So now they are just using whatever bomba driveway or whatever space they can find to just load things in. This is going to be the situation for the next year at least. Then from the entrance, from a pedestrian point of view, it's not friendly at all. Like our crew almost got hit by a car just by walking in, right? Because there's no proper walkways. The previous projects that we have visited all have a very proper transfer plate to reshuffle the structural elements and configuration. This one don't have. That's why you have a gym that looks super weird, because by default that space is supposed to be another unit. It's like 2 units altogether, but they just jantom and they do whatever they can and make it into a gym. That's why the gym experience is not as great. Then also the very sudden highlight of certain areas versus others. Like the lobby area, they do very nice. I can accept that, right? Then you have plaster ceilings on dedicated entrances, very nice. But then you have that sudden emptiness and bare furnished side of things. Then when you go to the reading room, wow, cantik. Then you go to other places, yeah, why like that one? Then you walk under the plaster ceiling, wow, very nice. But when you go, yeah, why like that one? Then within the unit itself, everything feels fine, and this is usually the signs of it being an affordable range product lah. So in terms of tile size, in terms of door sizes, the sizes of the window, the number of switches, toiletry brands, very rare you get glass handrails, you get steel handrails. One thing I don't like also will be the foyer, but everything else, like the corridor width, the corridor height, the build quality, the tidiness of utility components, structural arrangement within the unit itself, there's no kink whatsoever. Overall, I think they did a solid job. And I think the reason for that is this is a direct reflection of what you are about to get for their product next door as well. So to a certain level, there's also almost branding. That's why you can see still sense of pride within the treatments of the products, which is always good. And I suspect it was a very difficult decision whether to relocate the Rumawip to be built next to the project or to find another piece of land within KL to build separately, because this piece of land is just too prime in my opinion. And I guess that's all for this project. It's awesome. It's slightly lower than my expectation because we have visited some other earlier ones which are a bit kiasu. Those are somewhat like submitted to make a statement. This one is just compliance, slightly above compliance. So nothing too much to complain or make noise actually in terms of RAM, in terms of unit, in terms of common areas, in terms of value. And I'm very positive. I'm very happy with the condition of affordable housing now. During the early stage, we have seen a few, the quality is not that great lah. But this one, when it's tied to private developers, right? Just that maybe the authorities could look into the list of compliance a little bit more detail. Means why some don't need swimming pool, some need swimming pool. Why are there different layouts? Well, in LPHS, the Selangor version, you have standard designs. Why don't just fix with one most efficient design, and you can save the design time, you can save the design duration, approval time as well. You just chop in accordance to different land size and you just proceed. No need to redesign and again, and it will be cheaper for developers to do so too. Yeah, I think that will be my suggestion for the authorities, but one is federal, one is state. All this political thing, right? Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you, owner, for showing the unit. I still remember years ago when he texted me, a 0 property owner, now he has 3 under his belt already. Awesome. And if you really like this episode, like it, share it, and even subscribe for more information like this. Until next time, this is Sean Tan. Ciao.